Have you ever looked at a map and thought those lines were harmless? Just ink, just borders, just boundaries. But what if I told you those lines are not just drawings, they are decisions. Decisions that split land, separate people, and quietly control billions of lives. And sometimes, those lines don't stay on paper. They enter homes, they cross streets, they divide rooms, and rewrite reality itself. There are places on Earth where you can stand still and be in two countries at the same time, where one step forward changes your rights, your identity, even your future. And the strangest part, for the people living there, this isn't unusual, it's normal. Today, you're about to see borders that don't behave like borders. They move, they split, they connect, they threaten, they confuse. And by the end of this, you won't look at a map the same way again. We grow up believing borders are logical, straight lines, clear divisions, something that makes sense. But the world was never designed to be simple. Mountains don't follow politics, rivers don't respect nations, and people don't stop being human just because a line says so. So what happens when reality and these invisible lines collide? You get stories that feel impossible, stories that sound fake, until you realize they're real. Stay with me, because the deeper we go, the more uncomfortable the truth becomes. Part 1. The house split in two. Picture this clearly. A quiet house. A normal morning. Someone wakes up, walks to the kitchen, makes coffee. Nothing unusual, except half of that house is in a different country. Not metaphorically, literally. There are homes where a border runs straight through the middle, a line on the floor, deciding everything. Your bedroom might belong to one nation, while your living room belongs to another. Now imagine living like that every single day. Different laws, different systems, different authorities, inside your own walls. What happens during an emergency? Which police do you call? Which rules apply? And here's where it gets even stranger. People adapt. Some memorize exactly where the line is and use it when needed. Step here, one country. Step there, another. It turns daily life into a constant awareness of something most of us never even think about. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. But at least that border stays in one place. What if the line itself refused to stay still? Part 2, the moving border, deeper tensional. There are borders in this world that change without permission. Not because leaders agreed, not because maps were updated, but because nature decided. These borders follow rivers, and rivers are alive. They shift slowly, almost invisibly, but enough to redraw entire nations over time. So imagine owning land for generations, and then one day, without moving an inch, your land belongs to a different country. No warning, no choice, just change. Your documents might say one thing, the map says another, and reality feels stuck in between. And here's the hidden tension. When borders move, people don't always move with them. They get caught in between systems. Taxes become unclear. Rights become uncertain. Identity becomes blurred. It's not just geography changing. It's people's lives being quietly rewritten. Now imagine something even more surreal. A place where borders aren't hidden, but openly visible, right beneath your feet. Part 3. The border inside a building. There's a building where a simple line runs across the floor. Nothing dramatic. No walls. No guards. Just a line, but that line separates two countries. People walk in, sit down, read, talk, study, completely aware that they are sharing space between nations. It's calm, peaceful, almost symbolic of what the world could be. And that's not an accident. This place was created intentionally to reduce conflict, to remind people that borders don't always have to divide. They can also connect. But here's the deeper question. If people can share a building peacefully, why can't entire borders feel the same? That question doesn't have an easy answer. Because for every peaceful border, there is another. That reminds the world how fragile peace really is. Part 4, the most dangerous border zone. There exists a line where silence is louder than sound, where every movement is watched, every second is controlled. Two sides facing each other, not with curiosity, but with caution. This is not a place for mistakes. One wrong step, one wrong signal, and everything can change instantly. No civilians, no normal life, just tension, constant and unspoken. And here's what makes it even more intense. This place is always active. Even when nothing is happening, everything is happening. Surveillance systems, military presence, global attention, all focused on a single line, a line that represents conflict, history, and unresolved tension. It's a reminder that borders are not always invisible. Sometimes they are the most real thing in the world. And yet, in another part of the world, people stand on a border and smile. Part 5. The party border. Music fills the air, voices overlap, laughter spreads, and right in the middle of it all is a border, but no one is afraid of it. People from both sides gather, they celebrate together, dance together, share moments that ignore the line beneath them. For a brief time, the border loses its power. It becomes just a place, not a barrier. But here's the quiet truth behind that joy. These moments are exceptions. Because for most people, borders don't feel like this. They feel like distance, like separation, like something that cannot be crossed. And that contrast is what makes these celebrations so powerful. So now think about everything you've seen. A home divided by a line, land that changes countries, a building shared peacefully, a border filled with danger, a place where division turns into celebration. All completely real, all happening right now, and all connected by something we rarely question. Borders are not just geography. They are systems. They shape opportunities, limit movement, define identity, often without people realizing it. Two lives, starting the same way, can become completely different just because of where a line was drawn. And the most powerful truth is this: you didn't choose where you were born. You didn't choose your border, but that invisible line has been shaping your life since the very beginning, quietly, constantly, unnoticed, until now. If this changed how you see the world, don't just scroll away, watch it again, look closer, because the more you think about it, the more questions you'll have. And I want to know, which border made you stop and think the most? And more importantly, did it change how you see your own?